Alright YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to the Fackerton YouTube channel. So today is the day, guys. Check this out. See these brakes right here? They're about ready to go. And brand new, just got them in last night. Quick jacks. Beautiful. And as you guys already know, they will be going down in the description below. You'll be able to find these exact ones. And they have all types of sizes and price ranges that you can get. So yeah, that's gonna be legit if you get some. I would recommend it. No more of this, guys. No more of this. I got something coming for this, but I'm not gonna say what that is yet. It's gonna be straight legit. This is the brakes that I'm going to right here. You're about to see them get installed, and then I will show the end result of them just being installed now. And then I got a bigger reveal coming later on, probably tonight, I don't know. But then I got these two stools here. So without further ado, we're gonna start working on the front brakes, and I will put that on time lapse. We'll get that knocked out, and then we'll go to the rest of them. this out. No, these are not going on this Tiguan. That's all I'm gonna say, but this is a glimpse on what may be coming in the future. In case you were wondering, yes, these are going back on this one, but this is just an idea of a project to come, and it is going to be straight legit. It's going to be way different than this one, and that's all I'm going to say. So there's a glimpse on what's coming. About the pushing the thing, the caliper. Okay, so what he had to do was he had to hook up a C-clamp to this, and then he took the old brake pad and then just put it flat on that, and then that way he was able to push it all the way back in. That way you can get the new pads in there, otherwise it won't fit.
You want to push it in even, especially if your brakes are worn down, like your pads are getting thin, rotors getting thin. If you push it in there cockeyed, you can actually scar up the inside of the bore, and then you can have your brakes stick. And that is really a problem when they won't actually retract back in. Then your brakes will drag, they get really hot, you can end up warping rotors, you can warp a wheel. Worst case scenario, you can actually start a fire that way. I've actually seen a couple of vehicles that were getting dragged by a tow truck with dragging brakes catch on fire because of that. And you'll see later when we put the pads in too, always make sure your pads slide nice and freely. You don't want to have to, jam them. If they don't slide freely, stop what you're doing, figure out why. Do not put it together and send it down the road like that. You're asking for trouble. We're gonna go ahead and lube everything up now. And throw some grease on the where the actual pads get guided inside of the calipers. That way they slide nice and easy. And then some people, it wouldn't really work on this. Some people will actually put a little bit of grease on the back side of this pad here, so that way it kind of suction cups to the cylinder. You don't really have to do it, but something you can do. Actually, looks like you got oh no, it's just dirt. Looked like it was grooved. Okay, well anyways, throw the pads in now. Cleanliness is gonna be your friend here. Want to make sure everything's clean before you throw it back together. Make sure everything moves freely. Then I'm also going to do is I'm going to pull these pins out, these slider pins. Pull these guys free. Make sure they're lubed up nice, which they are now, but we're just going to throw a little bit of grease on these after I clean them off. Make sure that these rubber boots are actually seated. You can see it's got a little lip here. Hopefully you can see that. Pull it out. It's got a little lip there. You want to make sure that that's actually popped all the way into the lip. Also, you don't want to pack this too full of grease because then it'll actually hydraulic. Now the grease isn't compressible, so if you actually put too much in there, then it won't allow the slider to go all the way down, and you can actually have your brake not work once your pads get down so thin. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. So go ahead and pull this off, wipe off any grease that's on there. It just gets rid of any dirt that did get caught in that grease, or it gets broken down by heat. So, yep, just clean it off. Throw a little bit of grease, just a thin layer on it. I'll show you the stuff I use real quick. Now this stuff here, it's basically like the stuff you get at the parts store, but this is just a better value. I think you pay like $8 or $9 for this full tube of it, but this is synthetic caliper grease. I put this on all my slide pins. I put these on all of my pad guides. Also, this caliper doesn't have it, but on a lot of these calipers, you'll actually have a metal pad guide that sits in there, and that's to prevent wear on the actual caliper bracket itself if it did get in a bind. So those are kind of just a wear item. So you want to make sure everything is clean in here. Now, before we put these back together, we'll go ahead and brush all this off nice and clean. Put a real thin layer of grease on it, and you don't want to go too overboard to where it overflows onto the pad, because then you'll get squeak and it won't wear right. It'll kind of change the friction surface. It's not really something you want. Like I said, cleanliness is your friend. You want everything to move freely. You want everything to be able to do exactly what it's meant to do. If you have one pad hanging up, this is designed to keep equal pressure on each pad. So if you have one side binding, you're going to eat up one pad and one one side of your rotor quicker than the other. So just, it's an easy, simple thing, but it's all the details. So just don't rush through it, don't put it together if it doesn't feel right. That's it. So go ahead and get this stuff cleaned up, throw the pads in. Now, like I said, make sure it slides freely, which this one won't slide much because obviously they're new pads, new rotors. You just want to make sure that they're not in a bind. If they move and it has to be crooked to move, that's not good enough. They have to move completely parallel to each other. So make sure it all moves freely. You don't want nothing in a bind, nothing that'll stick. Now these are good. I already got the piston all the way in, so now I can just slide the caliper over. Easiest way to do this is I'll take this little wire off that I have hanging it. They actually sell a little twist rope you can use this for. I just use rebar tie wire because it's what I have. I bought a big roll of it. But hold this here down. Slide it over your pads. We'll put in the top bolt and then swing it down. Turn it by hand, but you don't want to be able to wiggle this caliper. If it wiggles or it's got slop in it, then you got air in the line most likely. Either that or your caliper's sticking in some way or another. Yep, this is good. Also, if you're on a car that's got anti-rattle clips, absolutely put those in. Otherwise, you'll get bad brake shuttering. Cool. When you reset the pad by pumping the brake, go ahead and pop the cap back off. Whenever you want to push those calipers in, because the pads and rotor is thicker, and you want to pop that cap off so that way the fluid can actually push back up.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a basic scanner. It's an Autel MaxiCheck MX808. So what we're going to do is go in here to service. This is on this specific one. It'll be different for whatever scanner you're using. This isn't a real high dollar one. You can get away with less, but you're not going to be able to use just a regular code reader. Anyways, we're going to go in here to electronic parking brake, Volkswagen. Brakes, replace brake pads. Hit OK. Hit OK. Parking brakes are already released. Now it's going to release it to the service position, and what we're going to do is, now that it's fully set, as it says here, turn the ignition switch off, do our service, and then when we're done with everything, we'll turn the ignition back on, hit OK, and then it'll reset them to the operating state.
And in case you guys were wondering, I will have a link in the description on where you can pick up that tool. They also have one that's a little bit more handheld, and it costs like 150 bucks. So if you don't want to do a bunch of work to your car and you just want to be able to do your brakes on it, you could get that one. Or if you want a little bit more advanced one, what does that one run about?
$400, somewhere around there. Best deal to get them, I believe, is jbtools.com. And they have all scanners, I mean, from the low spectrum up to the $2,500 big bad boys. One can dream. But.
So yeah, that's what we got right now. We have the front done, but we got a wheel on it, so I'm not going to show that right now. But the other 3 brakes that we get done, we'll leave the wheels off, and I'll show you guys like what that looks like. And it looks sharp. It looks really good. So can't wait to show you that.
So also forgot to mention on the rear caliper mounts, to get the actual mounts themselves off, you're going to need these. It's called a triple square socket. I believe it's the 12 millimeter. Just go ahead and get the set, because better to have and not need than need and not have. And also it's a twist-in caliper design, so one of these little basic squares will get you done. Aside from that, you'll have to set it in the surface position, and just a fair warning, they put those bolts on fairly tight, so make sure you got some room. If you can, jack it up so you can get a long breaker bar in there.
And for these tools right here, they don't really cost much. I'm gonna highball and say I paid probably maybe 50 bucks for both of them.
Yeah, this was 60 from O'Reilly's. You can get them online cheaper, and you can also get them in a smaller set so you don't get all of the extra sizes. You can get those for about 30 bucks, but try to get a decent quality one if you can, because like I said, they do put them on fairly tight.
And like I said, O'Reilly's is just where, you know, I found them, but you may be able to go to other stores and buy them, you know, and this is just in case you're trying to work on your own Volkswagen Tiguan in your own garage. This is what you'll need, so that's why we're showing that.
And these will fit. I'm not sure on the specifics, but I believe some Jettas, some Passats, I believe all the way back to like 05, 06, you might need some of these. So if you do have Volkswagens at home and you do your own work, definitely grab a set of these. Like I said, better to have and not need.
All right, so we're on the other side of the brakes now, and first thing I did was took this anti-rattle clip off. Goes on, I think, something like that, who knows, but you'll see when it goes back on. But yeah, that's one of the first things you do, and then you'll grab your little wrench, and then there should be probably like a bolt here, I'd assume.
You'll just take that little rubber cover off.
Oh yeah. So there will be a little rubber cap on the back of it,
which I really appreciate, because it keeps it from rusting out,
that
getting dirt.
You take off. You got one on the bottom and one on the top.
And you just those are a T50. I'm sorry. Hex 7 millimeter.
So you got a hex 7 on these guys right here. And don't worry guys, you're probably gonna chew me out midway through the video and say, oh, you didn't give us the sizes, but I'm gonna go through the whole thing when we're done, and I'll tell you what all sizes, tools you need, things like that. So have no fear, the information will be here. And I'm not really at all mechanically inclined, as you guys can obviously see from this right here. I don't even know which way it's supposed to go, who knows. Which is why I don't really film me doing this stuff, and it's slipping, so I don't know if that's what
you'll need the extension, so it gets in there a little deeper on that top one. That brake line gets in the way.
Gotcha.
So that's a hex 7 millimeter, and then the caliper bracket mount itself is a 14 millimeter triple square.
That won't fit in there with that. That sucks.
Yeah, you gotta push that cable down a little bit. It's a pain. Yeah, my Icon ratchet took a poop on us, so we gotta use this thing, and it don't really fit in there that great.
So I may be kind and warn you guys now, if you're looking for mechanical advice on how to do stuff, I am not the guy to watch. I just do some stuff. My brother does a lot of the actual mechanical type of work for me. I'm just trying to do this right now, so that way I can kind of learn it. But yeah, we will get these 2 bolts out here. You gotta kind of go for a while, but it's no big deal.
I think it's on the way out. It's just in the rubber bushing now.
And then it's kind of a pain to get the tool out. You might have a different setting, a different tool or whatever. It might work better, a little worse, who knows.
You can just go ahead and pull that whole pin out, if you can. If not, we'll push it out in a second.
Oh well.
Yeah, just
all right.
the bottom one.
You
Bottom
get it.
one, you don't need an extension.
Well, yeah, you do that, and then you'll have one on a. You got one on the top there, and then one on the bottom there. So that's the one I'm going to be taking out right now. So no promises, but I'll try. And I think, yeah, this one will go a lot easier. But guys, this is pretty simple. I mean, we had to watch a video just to see about the piston on the other side. And once we're all done with that, I'll have my brother explain exactly what we had to do, or when we get to this one over here, I'll try and do a better part of the video on it. That way you guys can actually see what I'm talking about, what all I had to do and everything. So, but it's not bad though.
So it's a dial back piston in the caliper. So it's one you have to twist while you push in. And the tool we have, they didn't have one there that actually applied pressure and twisted. So we had to kind of mess with it a little bit. Once we got it so far down, we actually had to press it.
So basically we had to use the little tool and get this piece loose right here, and this is the little tool right here that you use. It just makes that go back in. So you tighten it and you loosen it. You gotta finagle with it, but it eventually goes in, and then you press it in with like a crowbar or...
Oh, the other side would tighten in.
You'll figure it out. But so you do that, and then what we're doing now is we got, you know, obviously the rotor off, that depressed in. So I'm gonna spray a little bit of brake cleaner on here. You guys may have seen earlier, I took a brush to it and you know, just try to clean it up the best I can, and then use brake cleaner for the rest of it. And then we'll spray brake cleaner on the rotor here just to kind of clean it up. Now if you put it on the floor and it's kind of dirty, it's okay, but just make sure that it's like really clean when you know, you go to install it for good, because you don't want dirt on there and get all up in your pants and everything. So just kind of be mindful of that. But now we're gonna clean everything and start putting it back together. YouTube, so check this out, buddy. Finally got the brakes on. Easy peasy pudding pie. It really wasn't that bad. We did have a little hiccup with the back, but we got that straightened out. You know, we just had to learn how to do it. Because it's got the electronic parking brake on it. You got to do those a sort of way, so. But yeah, really wasn't that bad. Tires are pretty much ready to put back on now. But, you know, that'll be the end of this video. This video is just, you know, kind of to show you guys how to put brakes on and all that. And, you know, give you kind of an idea of what you would need as far as like tool-wise and everything. Some of the tools that I had to use would be a flat wrench. And the flat wrench was for this bolt right here. Because you got to hold it, you know, you got to put the flat wrench on here while you take this little bolt off right here in the back, you know what I mean? So that's how you got to do that. And then that bolt right there is a 13. See if you can get that. And it's one of those little funky star ones. But yeah, you put that on here. We got this on a 1/2 inch. So that'll be one of them that you need there. And then, you know, little brush, a mallet to beat the drum off with, a C-clamp or a brake tool, old pads to depress the cam in, and then you'll need some brake grease. And then we have also right here some anti-seize, self-explanatory with that. But I didn't really need to replace my brakes. My brakes were actually still really good, but I'm just going for a certain look here, so that's why I redid my brakes. As you can see, these brakes still look really good. And if I show you the pad, like there's still plenty of brake on there. So I mean, they're not bad. I'm actually going to save them, you know, just in case I need them one day, or you know, if I know somebody that has a Tiguan and they need brakes for it, I'll just sell it to them cheap. But that's pretty much it. Also, you want some brake cleaner, you know, a few odds and ends, things like that. A crowbar, a flathead screwdriver, you know, to do some of these. This tool right here is meant to get the back brake piston depressed, because you gotta twist in and push at the same time to get it to go back in or get started. And then you just use a C-clamp on that, or you know, cam depressor tool if you have that. But it's basically all there is to it. It's not really that bad. It did take us a little bit of time to do the brakes, probably about 5 hours or so, but you know, we stopped and we had lunch and did stuff like that, plus we were clowning around, so it's whatever. But that's the end of this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic by any means, so you know, I might not be the best on showing you guys how to put brakes on. There's better videos out for that. This is just showing you what kind of brakes that I got. I got them from Brake Performance. They're zinc coated, so they won't rust. Don't know how they do yet. I'll try and do a follow-up video on it, probably when I do the rim reveal. But that'll be for the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, give me some new ideas. I'll put the link for the scan tool that we used, and also for the brakes from Brake Performance. I'll put that all down in the description below, as I always do. That way, in case you guys want to do this in your garage, you can go ahead and do it. And you can save like 130 per axle. At least that's what it was going to cost me in Fort Wayne, Indiana at my dealership. So it would have been $260 altogether, and I just saved my money, you know, by doing it myself, and my brother helped me out. So it was fun. But I will see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you, and thank you for watching. Also, follow me on Instagram, because, you know, I'll put all my latest videos and footage and everything on there before it makes its way to YouTube. And also check out my brother's channel. It's the Eventually Pretty Good YouTube channel. I'll put a link for his channel as well in the description below. He's got some pretty good content coming and already on his channel too. So he's gonna rock, dude. But that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I will frickin' see you later.